And we are live in 3, 2, 1. Robyn, let's get demonetized quick. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing? Thank you so much for having me here. Shit.
Guys, everyone in the chat, we talked about like 80 million different things in like a 10-minute span before this, and we had to keep cutting ourselves off because we're like, oh shit, no, stream. Robyn, tell the people just briefly what you do before we get into the rabbit hole, but let's set the stage for your interests, who you are, and what you're doing right now.
Yeah. So I've been working in the porn industry for about 5 years, since like 2016, and different facets, different ways. And then in 2018, I started managing the VR workflow for a very prominent porn site. And I sort of, that was my introducing to VR, actually, was porn.
Yes.
I had never gamed before. I hadn't really done anything in it before. And then all of a sudden I was given this task to start writing VR porn scenes, and it moved into helping produce it and then managing the workflow for that. So that's my beginnings in porn.
This is our resident VR porn sexpert, guys. And guess what? Guess who forgot again to send the tweet out and the Discord notification that we talked about before the stream? This guy. So let's do that real quick. We're good. All right. And we're back. Robyn, we talked about it a little bit before. Every one of my friends, I know to the actress, what porn they're into, what their kinks are. We talk about it all the time. I talk about it, we share it, and it's very creepy how much similar we always kind of seem with my friends. Like, we've seen the same stuff, even though we didn't talk about it. But they all have Oculus Quest, and not a single one of us have ever admitted openly to each other that we have watched VR porn. Why the fuck are we so quiet about this amazing, fun topic? I don't get it.
I think it comes down to like what people think is morally okay. I don't know. I think that a huge majority of people on the earth think about sex a lot, have sex a lot, watch sex and porn a lot. So why, you're right, like why is it so quiet? And I think it just comes down to like the taboo in society telling people it's not okay.
But do you still feel like it's a taboo? Like, I don't know, something like porn is like now to me like it everyone is like, cool, you watch porn. Shut up. No one cares. Like everyone does it. But why is normal porn like now to me I really do feel it's acceptable like these days. But VR porn it's not acceptable. It's just not visible or discussed. And it's a shame because uh it's unique. Hey, who in the chat who's used it? Just out of curiosity, if you want to admit to it and be a baller. I have. I'll start it off. And I obviously we know Robin has.
Are you kidding me? I get paid every day to throw on a headset and look at dicks. Like,
Tell
are you
you
kidding me?
you sent me a DM about that. What is this job? Like tell me I got to know what you're doing there.
Well, like right now, I'm not no longer working with the company I was working with before when I was helping produce it. And now I work with a company where I'm basically just like a copywriter, and I work on their VR side. So I'm a journalist. I research VR porn. I watch a lot of VR porn, and then I write about it. Write about my thoughts and how easy it was to use, and is it better to stream or download? Who's watching on Steam VR? Are you watching on Steam VR? I know someone is.
Yeah. WebXR for the win in privacy mode. Guys, privacy mode. I've seen a few of you show your public stuff on my Oculus Quest friend list. Use privacy mode, guys. This is basic stuff. I mean, come on. Actually, I take that back. You don't have to hide it. You don't have to hide it. But I have a feeling you didn't mean to show it. I'm just going to go out on a limb there. I don't think you meant to show what you were watching.
Well, if you're my friend on Oculus and you ever see me online in like virtual desktop, it's like a 95% chance that I'm watching porn.
All right. There you go.
But I'm it's research, right? It's
So
it's
tell me
research
what are you researching? I'm assuming it's about how we can do this better, how we can get people more interested in talking about it. What's Robin's like top focus right now for VR porn?
I want a company. I want any established company to just like step up and do something different. I think people are too scared right now, or like porn companies are too scared to take the next step towards VR porn, AR porn, because they're like, oh, there's money involved. This is a good payoff. But until a company does that, we're going to be stuck in this whole like 180-degree girl right in front of you. And it's just like, I don't know. I want it to be more. I want to walk into a room and I want it to be a room that I've designed, or like, like an alt space kind of thing or something.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
like, there's a giant orgy going on or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the second time I've said orgy live in like a week.
let's well we should have made like a bingo card for this, a bad word or unspoken word on YouTube bingo card so they could have played along. We can get into some of the things that we want more from VR, but if there was any company, just looking at like the porn companies that I've been most like loving their marketing, like Pornhub, like remember when like the blizzard happened and they send like snowplows with the Pornhub logo all to like New York and stuff, like genius marketing. Like you're helping people while promoting your website. Like if there was any company that I thought would have done something, like they did something else, I don't know what it was, but something even bigger. I thought Pornhub would have been bigger right now into VR porn. Like, and I mean, they probably already are in it. I know they are, but I'm talking like pushing it hard, like synonymous, almost like VR and Oculus is at this point.
Yeah, like that company, Pornhub, they have an excellent marketing team and genius minds over there thinking up stuff to keep people interested in the content. But it's kind of true. I think with every company, they're not doing anything special with VR.
Yeah.
I don't want to be critical of them, but like just like any company, they're not doing anything special. It's like everybody. You stick a camera on a guy's head. He lays down there and a girl does all the work. What's new?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you're not wrong. They seems to only be that first person view, doesn't it? I guess that makes sense though, but it is interesting. Do they have this? I didn't even think about this because obviously me being who I am, it's not something I'm actively looking at, but it is all from what I've seen, and I'm talking like just browsing, it is male point of view. Is there female point of view VR porn? Because that I
There,
even doing the browse categories, I don't see it.
it doesn't get pushed a lot because when you think about it, like demographic wise, there's probably like it's like 75-80% of porn users that are males.
Yeah,
So what is a company going to do? A company is going to create content for the people that are giving them the most money,
that makes sense.
right? Any company. So
Yeah,
it comes down to that. There are some great companies and channels and stuff that are creating female perspective porn, but it doesn't take off in the same way, I think, because it's sexuality, I think, for those genders is so different that it can't be the exact same experience. Like you can't just like put a girl and just lay her there and then have another girl do all the work. It's just never this. It's not the same kind of thing, I feel.
yeah, I get that. It's almost like I don't know who made the tweet. It might have been Ben Ling. It's always Ben Ling if it's something about a video game. But they were talking about how it's like all these paradigms of VR mechanics are just very safe. You have twin stick locomotion. I think someone didn't want it. I don't think it was Ben actually. I think Ben replied to him. But he hated twin stick locomotion, wanted more. And despite here or there, but VR porn is very similar to that. It is always first person view. It is always the same thing. You and I talked about some of our things that we like and don't like. Like, I really hate the jump cuts. But that is a product of the technology. And for people who are listening who either haven't watched VR porn or are putting it out of their mind that they haven't, the jump cuts are where in normal life you would have sex and it flows and you go from one thing to the next. But VR porn, it is a hard jump cut, the ones you don't like to see in the movie to the next scene. And it's pretty off putting. I mean, it really is. I don't know about what your views are on that, Robyn.
I think there's like a couple of things that take out or like kind of dull the immersion in that. And the reason is because when you're shooting that stuff, it has to be shot all at once. You can't just like turn off the camera, shoot again, like retake like you can do in flat porn, right? You just have the producer has to shoot it completely fully to make sure the camera is exactly where it has to be, that it's not moving or being shifted so it doesn't create nausea. And yeah, I think, and then in the stitching process, they have to cut it like that, So with content that I've produced in the past, I knew that those cuts would be there, but to make them less jarring, I would try to like get the editor to, do a fade to black
Yes,
between,
yes.
or something that's like a little more maybe cinematic. I'm not sure, but yeah, that I think it does take the immersion away a little bit.
Yeah, and this isn't a complaint fest on VR porn, guys. This is just, it's the tech. It's what we have to work with. But I also find that like when you're searching what you have to work with on WebXR or something like that on like a Quest, the quality, it varies so drastically. Some it's like 480p, and then others it's a little better. Some the aspect ratio is still what VR is. Everyone feels a little distorted in size, but it's closer to reality. Where other ones it's unwatchable. It's like almost it's really off-putting. So I get why there's no standard because everyone's just figuring it out and doing the best they can. But a standard would be nice to see eventually.
It would be great, like there's one company out there called VR Bangers.
Yes.
And if anyone's really into VR porn, you've been on that site. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to lie. I think they probably create the best out there. They, they shoot in 8K, which no one else is doing.
Really? Wow.
Oh, yeah. I think they're the company to be watching. And like, I'm not getting paid, obviously. I don't work with them. I don't even know them. But I think they're the company to be watching right now for VR porn because they are trying new things and different things. And they allow you to go on for free and watch a 2-minute trailer to get a taste of what it might be like. So if you don't want to buy a membership right away, try a few free scenes and see if you dig it. It's compatible for anybody. Like I'm looking over there because I have my Quest over there. But whether you have like a really powerful HMD or you're just like sticking your phone into like a Samsung Gear or something, you can still watch it. And their site it's created so it's like all of that is capable and with a really good experience. So you don't need a lot of money to get into VR porn, but it does get better with the better headset you're using.
Yeah, I think we'd all agree on that. It's a really like endlessly interesting like area because like we could go right now, like I'm in my brain, I'm like spider webbing into all these different assets. I'm thinking like for one, let's talk about how like so porn traditionally, well not traditionally, but porn in the media when it is made to look more taboo than it should. I think a lot of times those articles harp on like it is making men be a little more violent to women. You know, it's changing their mindset on how you should treat a woman because maybe what's happening in a porn video isn't how you would ever probably treat someone in another area. VR porn, well, if you're gonna put them front and center, do you think emotionally that changes their perception? I have definitely had like I don't know what one it was, but some girl got really close to your face, like really close, and it was
Ugh,
off-putting. I felt like
ugh.
I was really off-put, and I actually was like felt bad. I'm like, oh no, like I don't want to do this now, and that's insanely powerful. How the fuck did that do that to me?
But that's it, you know, like that's actually one of the biggest things I found with a lot of the European VR porn, like the Czech kind of stuff. They always have the girl come in and kiss you first, and you just see this giant beak coming in on you, and you're like,
I hate it.
oh, it's the worst. Like that was one of my rules with when I was producing. I would like ask the producer, please, for the love of God, no kissing the camera because it's the worst. It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it's a perfect like experiment into no, this is not the same as watching it on your phone, tablet, computer. It is absolutely not if it could do that. And maybe because I think at least what I'm searching, the VR porn is a lot more tamer. Like you're not going to get the crazy categories that you get in traditional. So maybe there's room here for a re-education where the porn starts a certain way and we build more of a connection where we realize that this is entertainment, pleasure, fun, but not reality, but we get the sense of it. I don't know. It's a little too deep for porn maybe, but I think there's really a lot of good that VR porn could do to shape that industry and getting more attention in a better positive way.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to like the companies and platforms that it's on too, because you know, like even major porn companies, they can't even have like an Android app.
Oh,
You
really?
know, like
Oh, because the
all of
store
these.
blocks them.
Yeah, and like the same thing. Like, can you imagine if there was like I don't know, like a VR bangers on Oculus Store? Like, as if they would never do it. And so I think it's like these major companies that are big cock blocks to that too. You
That's
know,
true.
they're saying, you know, VR porn is bad, VR porn is wrong, but like, are you kidding? Do you know how much money you'll make?
Yeah.
And that's not the end of it, of course, you know what I mean? But
I
I
don't want
think
to put
that's what a
like
lot of companies want.
I don't want to put words in like SideQuest's mouth, but like to your point on where like these larger companies aren't allowing it on their storefronts. I I have not like this is me making a comment without doing any bit of research, but I specifically remember early on with SideQuest, there was a specific section of the app on the PC that was for like three like porn websites or apps that would sideload it on and be pretty useful. And I didn't use SideQuest too much. Like I used it, but not like a crazy amount. And I recently started using it again because I just want to experiment and find some cool stuff. And I specifically one that was like, I wonder what that section is now. Was it updated? I can't find it. I'm not
It's
joking. I don't know if it's gone. I'm not going to put words out there. Someone in the chat knows, maybe it's still there. But for how easy it was for me to find it before is not easy anymore. I couldn't find it. And that's not good. Come on, SideQuest. If you still have it on there, make it front and center. You're the place. You're the only place for this type of stuff. You know,
mm,
people need you for their platform. And I think that's really important. I hope that I'm wrong on this, that it's not out of it.
yeah, I'm gonna start looking. I'm gonna go look now too. I want to know. Oh yeah, someone says I think in the chat they say the not safe for work section was
Yes.
removed. Oh
That's so
shit.
sad. What? Why? What? I
Yeah.
got to get Psychos on here one day, and it's just going to be a conversation of why, why.
Why?
Like you have the opportunity to be the platform to be the advocate for the fringe, and it's gone, and that sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah, no, and there's I see someone else is talking about like BDSM on flat screen, yay, BDSM in VR. Ooh. And it's funny because I was actually writing an article about Kink VR this week,
What is
and
Pink
it was like,
VR?
sorry, Kink
Kink.
VR.
Oh, okay, okay. That's pretty
Yeah,
self-explanatory there.
Yeah, so it's kinky stuff, and it's a lot more rough, more with like alternative, like tattooed models doing just really, God, painful things.
Yes. So
But,
are you the in those, are you the receiver or the giver?
in those specific scenes, well, it's different for every scene. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the one that I watched this week, because it's like a freebie on their site right now that I
Ah.
noticed. It has like Lee Raven and Charlotte Sartre. I am going to say her name wrong, and I even tried it in a French accent, and it worked. But but it was like a scene with them and Derek Pierce and an unknown guy, and they were like bad cops that were basically manhandling these two beautiful naked women in like the back room of a cop shop. And like, I don't know, it's interesting to see it in VR because it does feel a lot more real,
Yes.
you
Now,
know.
now, what was your first like VR porn experience? What were your thoughts the first time you tried it? I'm curious. From someone who loves this industry, you probably had a unique perspective the first time you saw it compared to someone else who's just like, ha, 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 VR porn. I want to see this.
Yeah, well, for me, like I've been a script writer before I started like writing VR porn as well. I was writing porn for Flat, and then also other stuff too outside of that realm. And oh shit, I brain farted. See, I told you I wasn't gonna smoke, and it still didn't help.
Hey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll save that for after stream. If anyone, we should have a. Oh man, YouTube's too restrictive.
Yeah, I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
No, no. But yeah, the first time, I mean, I just remember my first
Yeah.
time when I did it, and I did not finish, and I did not. And when I say that, I mean I took the headset off in like 5 minutes. It really was off-putting. I was not ready for it. I really wasn't, and it took me quite a while to build up to try it because is a lot of friction. I mean, you got to like I still didn't want my. I mean, my wife knows I watch porn, but I don't want her to know I'm gonna go into that room with a headset on. Like that's just weird. The
Yeah,
first
but
time.
unless you do it together.
Oh.
You know, like there are fun ways to do that. Like, okay, I'm gonna sound a little slutty or something right now, but like on Tinder, one of my biggest things back in the day to tell people was like, come try some VR at my house. You know what I
Oh, VR
mean?
and
And
chill.
believe me, yeah, man, and you throw a partner in VR for the first time and just like go to town like that, you're like, it blows their mind. And I know
Yeah.
several people that bought headsets after the fact because of that, and I'm like contributing to the community.
That's
But like
hilarious.
aside from that, like there's all kinds of stuff you can do. Like there are smart sex toys now that you can coordinate. So like they're called Tele-dildonics.
Yes, keep going.
And so like some brands of that are like Lovents or Kiru. And Lovents in particular, they allow you to be completely on different parts of the world. But if as long as both partners have toy, so for instance, if you have like partners that are like male and female, like vagina, penis. Oh, can I say that on
Yes,
YouTube?
say anything you want in here.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay, shit. But so there's one of the toys is like a fleshlight, and the other one is just kind of like a rabbit dildo. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? And so, like for instance, when the male partner puts his penis in the fleshlight, the the dildo that the female partner has actually vibrates and does the exact same sensations as if it would be if her partner was entering her,
We are
and
in the
vice
future.
versa. Yeah, but imagine, like, think about that, like in the time now with like COVID or long distance relationships. Like, I know last week I was talking with Max Noir about similar stuff like this at VRTO, and she was asking the same thing. You know, she mentioned that she was going to be away from her partner for a little bit, and she asked my advice about like what stuff maybe they could possibly look into. You know, and God, Max, I hope I'm not embarrassing you. I hope it's okay to say that, but.
I'm DMing Lucas right after this.
Tell him what little shit I am. But yeah, like so for anyone who's in a situation like a long distance relationship or just COVID where you just can't be together, like how cool is that? You can put on your headset, you have a teledildonic that's basically interactive with either your partner or the content that you're watching. The cool, you can save it So like if you're doing a video chat with your partner with these sex toys, it has like software that will save or record what's going on. So like you can just turn on your dildo and it'll be like your past session with your partner.
Wow.
Like
That's
what? What?
that's amazing. So this,
Yeah.
because that it's phone sex, but actually good. But
Yeah.
actually good, because no one wants to do that. That's just by force that you
Yeah.
need. My God, I got to know. I mean, I want to go down this rabbit hole. What other toys there are like that? Because I remember one of the first and only VR porn type videos I made, because YouTube was very mad at me when I did it. Was about the, I don't know what year it was, but there was an expo in China or Japan that's going to be xenophobic with me if I don't remember what it is, but it was, I believe it was Japan, and it was so big that they had to shut it down day one. Cops called, place cleared out, because so many people came to this expo to see what this virtual reality porn could bring. I made a whole video. It was hilarious. Like, it literally shut the entire city down. There were riots. People just really wanted to get in. And I think people really just want to take their sexual life to a new level. That's what is
Yeah.
exciting. That's what people always are. They're experimenting.
Imagine, oh my God, VR porn shuts down a city. How was that not like a worldwide headline?
Right?
You know, like that's insane to me. Like, well, we know why because everyone's scared of it.
Yes.
But
And everyone's so repressed that when they were given the opportunity to possibly experience this in a setting where everyone who's there is going to agree that, yeah, guys, we're all on the same team here, let's not make fun, that people found this opportunity. They're like, I need this because people are accepting this right now. This is my opportunity to not feel shamed, not feel scared. And they went. And then it got shut down because there were too many people, and they go back to hiding when they should be having fun, expressing themselves, being who they are. And it's sad they
uh,
can't.
I don't know. That's sad for me. And like I understand. Like there's a lot of issues within the industry too, right?
Max is in here
Oh,
now.
oh no, oh
We love you,
Max.
Max. We love you a lot.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I forgot what I was saying again.
You said we were talking about how it's sad that people can't be themselves and do what they want.
Yeah, and I think, like there's the one side of it where it's like taboo, you know what I mean, for reasons that are not true. But then there is like sort of maybe like the not fun part of it where there is a lot of bad shit that goes on in the industry too, right?
Are you willing to
You
share some
know?
of that? I'm blind to this.
Oh, no, I don't have like any
Oh, okay. Okay.
specifics or anything like that, but you just like a lot of the time like girls who are in adult like videos and stuff are also, doing other sex work on the side. And it opens up avenues for dangerous situations, I think,
Sure.
sometimes. But in a whole, I think it's better.
Do you
Something
think
that
we could be going to, like, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but do you think on that topic, would virtual escorts be a new, safer alternative if someone provided headsets at a location that was maybe like that and they had a virtual escort? Is this a new, safer enterprise for sex work?
I can imagine, like that would be so cool, but until people are throwing the money down for it, I don't think we're going to get a lot of that stuff because regular, like the porn industry generally and normally is going a lot more towards like clip sales and
Mm-hmm.
camming and like the models and the performers taking their money and their fate into their own hands and not really pandering to bigger companies as much anymore. So when they're doing that, to expect those smaller performers to be able to buy a VR camera and buy all the lighting and all the technical stuff that they need, it's just not feasible yet. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that makes
But
sense.
I when they start making the tech cheaper, it's gonna blow up. It has to.
It has to. It has to. It just has to be like, even VR. And I know, like, probably some people are gonna hate me for this. I guess a couple dislikes, but I still think VR is taboo. Like take out the porn part of it. Just the headset is already taboo enough. You have to convince people that you're not a dumbass for this like fad that's just probably not going to go anywhere. I'm not saying it's not going to go anywhere, but that's a lot of people say it's not going to go anywhere. So you have the taboo of just the fucking platform that you're trying it on. Now you have to throw porn on there, and now you get some big eye rolls from grandma and grandpa. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of grandma and grandpa, hi dad. My dad is watching tonight.
Say hi, everybody, to Robyn's dad. Hi in the chats. Hey, Robyn's dad. Nice to meet you. You have a great
Just
daughter.
gonna get a kick out of that.
There we go. Putting aside the VR porn is the viewer, watching traditional porn but in virtual reality. Are you familiar? I am not. This is something I actually have not dabbled into once. VR porn gaming. Not one time have I tried that. I'm not sure if you have any. If you could give the chat and myself a few recommendations, your thoughts on the genre. I'm curious of this rabbit hole. You may have tried more than me if you tried even one.
So there's like a bunch of different cool stuff. So with that, I imagine if you were into VR porn, you've checked on Steam for it, right?
I
Like in
haven't.
general, anybody? Yeah. So if you just type like XXX into Steam, there are going to be a bunch of really like kind of like porn games,
Yeah.
VR porn games. But one in particular that's actually pretty great. It's expensive as hell. It's like $60.
Kanojo?
Yeah, there you go. You know, you're acting all innocent.
I didn't do I haven't done this. Well, I guess it is kind of like the super adult mod. You know what I'm talking about? Like you got it. Like
Yeah.
I didn't go full deep dive into Kanojo. It was like base, and I played before that. It's not porn, but together forever again. Oh man, what was it called? It's like Together Forever or something like that. And it was actually really good. Like it's actually quality was great. It's like you have this virtual girlfriend, you play 3 mini games with her, but it's really well done. Like the graphics, I felt like she was a real person and it was intimate and it's not sexualized. You can put her in a skimpy outfit, but it's not sexualized. It was actually really nice. And then I tried Kanojo and I got turned off really quick by it. It felt kind of rapey, to be honest.
Okay. I don't like that then.
Have you played
Yeah,
it?
I guess I play the trial because I'm poor until I start getting money again from my job.
That's just me. I mean, it's not that.
Oh, I
I
don't
think
like
that
that.
I think that was probably an intense word to describe it, but I didn't like I didn't like it. It was not for me. It felt like me just taking advantage of a virtual avatar, but also I guess that's a power of virtual reality. I felt like I was taking advantage of a fake being. And I really was, and I turned it off, which I guess made that's kind of nice. That's a nice thought when I think about it that way.
It's I like that. I like that you did that. Thank you. But also like yeah, now I'm like, oh shit, I just said this out loud and it's kind of rapey. That sucks.
No,
Fuck.
that's just one person's word. A lot of people like that stuff. It is kind
But
of it. Honestly, Ollie kind of said it. He's kind of right. Sometimes it does have that vibe to it. Doesn't make it that. It just might to our culture have that vibe. I don't speak for everybody. Just speak for myself, and it
yeah,
gave me a vibe.
but yeah, like when you think about it, because in real life, for the most part, you know, I like to think that people would have that same reaction, you know? But then I think there are also the people that are like, this is fake. It doesn't matter. It's not real. I can do whatever the fuck I want, which is a scary and also beautiful thing about VR,
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Because then you remember like, they probably say it now, but I remember very much like in the 90s, especially, it was like, games, gaming is violent. Gaming will like make your child a bad person. And I remember hearing that dialogue a lot as a kid. And I just wonder if that's the same thing that will continue when it comes into like VR and VR porn, even as it becomes more mainstream, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's a weird dynamic. It's a weird dynamic, especially when you start getting into the gaming. What is real? What's fake? What's the connection that you build to whatever you're seeing? Because one person's gonna have a different experience. One person might connect really hardcore to a certain game and feel like they're immersed, and these people are representative of real thoughts and real beings, and they treat them like that. Where someone else plays the same one, and they're a bunch of polygons that they're ready to fuck the shit up. You know what I mean?
And then you have to think about another thing. Something that's been really interesting me lately is VTubers on OnlyFans.
Yes.
Like VR VTubers on OnlyFans. And I've noticed that there are a lot of male or men that are VTubing as women, you
Oh.
know? Yeah. And it makes like that whole other like an interesting thing to think about is like when someone's purchasing this, are they believing that there's a woman behind there? If they knew it was a man behind that avatar, would they engage in the same way? And that kind of interests me, you know, the whole idea of avatars and real people versus not real, and how that happens in porn too, you know?
Can we speculate? I mean, I know you won't, we'll never know the answers. These are the people doing their own thing. But if you're willing to speculate on both sides. So let's start with the side of the man pretending, not pretending, the man picking a female avatar. And that sounding, I haven't personally looked at OnlyFans that because I'm cheap with my porn. But
Pay for your porn.
I know. I really should. It'd be fair.
That's going to be an unpopular thing to say. I'm not going to look at the chat.
No, but I get where you're coming from. We can circle back to that. But when it comes to the popular, what you have been seeing is popular, a lot of men being female VTubers. Why? What do you think the psyche is? Is this men being able to explore something that they normally would be shit on for? Are they just trying to appeal to a certain audience, or because it could be a business decision? They're going to have more male viewers than female viewers. Well, if you had to speculate, you can't speak for them, but just as a speculation.
But I think it's all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like gender is so fluid, you know, when we really think about it. Like, you know, we have people that identify in so many different ways now. And I love that inclusion, even though it's not normalized the way it could be. I think, you know, the idea of avatars in VR and who we are virtually compared to who we are in real life, and exploring those differences is a huge like step, I think, in our technological evolution.
Yeah.
You know, like when I'm an avatar, like I was almost debating, I'm like, is there any way I can do this as an avatar? Do I want people to look at me? And then I was just like, no, you know, today I want to show people who like I am. And when they play with me in other games, they see my avatar. Am I different? Am I the same? I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of people could take the liberty and be a completely different person. And that's what creates the fantasy.
Not only that, but it actually creates safety and security because, unfortunately, I think this is a travesty of the modern world. I think it is borderline manipulative, and I hate it. But if you work for somebody right now, in this day and age, you represent them even when you're not working there. And it is awful. It should not be that way. You should be able to live your life because they would drop you so quick and they'll never think about you again. Yet you change your life for them because you need a job. And maybe these virtual avatars is not only a great escape, they can be themselves, inclusive, but they're also providing themselves a safety net where they can enact their fantasies with no real life repercussions, because unfortunately there could be.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because that's the same thing. Like imagine you're in there and one person finds out how you are. Like cancel culture and doxing right now is like the coolest thing on social media.
That's
so imagine
ridiculous.
if there's just like someone you work with, maybe that you know, who knows, maybe they're on OnlyFans looking for VR VTuber content and they somehow find your content, or like a person's like they find your content and they figure out it's you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then that gets back to your work, or it gets back to, you know, your friends and family that might not be okay with it. And I like the idea that avatars give us a safe space
Yeah.
when we use it for good.
When we use it for good, but it also provides a lot of fun when you use it for bad.
It depends on the bad.
Yes. Spectrums. I like Quipsilver. Appreciate that comment. I really like that view. The wider the spectrum gets, the more sexual market will expand. Hell yes, that is completely true. You're getting rid of all these taboos and barriers, and literally Mr. Fox over there can do whatever he wants to the robot over there, and we can just be ourselves and not our body. I fucked up that phrasing. We're not smoking yet, but I had the brain fart too, Robyn. It's not just you.
Oh man, that was the one thing when I came in here, I'm like, okay, no more brain farts. I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna stop it. Stop saying fart. And I'm just like, you know what? You guys are gonna meet who I really am.
That is the point, and why porn is so amazing, because you only see the people for who. This is where maybe not the actresses, because we're all at a job. That's a job at the end of the day. But when it comes to porn, that is like the most visceral. You like what you like. That's you. Don't hide it. You like what you like, bro. Even if it's the weirdest shit in the world, you like what you like. There's nothing wrong with that. I like some weird shit. Won't share it all. Still won't. Still still got to have an air of mystery, but that's the fun, and virtual reality can really help us explore all that. What have you been using lately? Like, what's your current fascination with VR porn? Like, what are you studying? Is there anything in particular you're kind of watching develop?
So something cool that I just noticed recently that I actually didn't know exist before. Again, I'm going back to VR bangers. I want more people to kind of do like choose your own adventure
Ooh.
type models. I think that's maybe a next little step towards what we want, right? Because the whole idea of VR for me anyway is that you're getting, transported into this completely fictional virtual world. So like I would love to like walk into like a virtual world similar to like VR chat or World Space or something and go in there and be able to have, like an 18 plus party with people. And like I don't know who would do that or when it would be allowed.
I think it would be
But
allowed now, wouldn't
I'm not sure. I don't know
it?
the rules, to be honest. I
uh,
usually just go in there and I smoke and I lay in the water in my favorite room and I stare at space. So I don't know.
hey, if there's rules against that, that's a shame and a travesty. But no, that's a great, because I missed it, but the bearded bard invited me to what sounded like a really cool experience. Unfortunately, I was enjoying some recreational activities. He's 3 hours different, and I just couldn't stay up that late, so I missed it. But what I heard it was like a unique. I think it was in VR chat. I don't know. He can, if he's in here, he can tell me. But it was a unique kind of theater experience where you could be in the audience, but you're going to be walking around where everyone's acting with one person who is actually an audience member who's part of the act, who kind of has to interact with these actors, and they're going to help guide him to have a good time, and the audience will be watching it, walking around. It sounds amazing, but what if you could do that in VR chat right now, which you could, you just have to have someone organize it, who creates that type of experience of a guided choose your own story. Like, I think if this happens in VR, it's going to come down to the users who just make it for fun, and then maybe we'll show proof of concept to someone who wants to invest in that.
Yeah, because like VR Bangers, they did do a project called Desi Red. So
Hmm.
it's like DEZYRED. And it is like a choose your own adventure thing. But again, it's not like in a virtual world. You're still in someone's random living room or bedroom or bathroom or laundry room, wherever the fuck you're going to be. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But you're still in someone else's place that feels real, even though it's not. Whereas, like, when you have an open virtual world, that's where you, I think, create your ultimate fantasy, right?
Yes.
Because you can do anything and everything you want. Whereas with like VR porn, how it's shot today, there's still a lot of constraints. Like, if I wanted to do a choose your own adventure, I would have to firstly map the shit out of where that whole story was going to go, give enough storylines to make it worth the money and the time. But also, it is so much money. You think, performers are, what they get paid, thousands already to start. But when you have to do a choose your own adventure, you have to like shoot up until this part
Uh,
and then shoot this part or this part or this part, or I'm off camera, but like you have to shoot everything separately. And again, it comes down to time and money. And it's
yes.
just,
As
that's a
everything
difficult
does.
thing. Yeah.
When it comes to
Yeah.
shooting, though, that is a little bit of transition, but the shooting is interesting to me. Now, I know you pre-stream told me you were never at one of the shoots. Um,
Okay.
However, you may have some, you probably know a little bit about how they're done. But what I'm curious about is the actresses or the talent who has been doing traditional wise. Was it a struggle, or have you heard? Is it hard to convince them to move to this new platform? Is it exciting for them? Maybe they're buying into it more than the end user. I'm curious what their mindset is, because ultimately VR porn couldn't happen without them. That's just a fact.
Mhm.
And you want to have their buy-in to have an enjoyable time, to make it fun. But I've got to imagine it is fun, but at the same time frustrating for them, because there's going to be technical problems where sex doesn't have as many technical problems as VR does.
Well, there's all kinds of stuff, like especially too when you're shooting. Like imagine you're like the male partner of a scene. You've got this giant, like HMD strapped to your head. That's not sexy already. First of all, you lose a level of intimacy with that.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So like in VR, I find the really good scenes are the performers who really can move past that, or maybe, like what if there is a break, they fluff each other for 10 minutes real quick and then come back to it, or you
Yes.
know what I mean? Like like fun
If
stuff like
if you,
that.
if you don't know that term, chat, you're gonna have to Google it, but don't do it in front of anybody.
No. I
That
don't think
makes sense.
anyone would want to be a fluffer.
I mean, hey,
Or maybe they would. I don't know.
everyone's got to do a job. It's a job. But yeah,
It's
I've
not.
got to I've got to imagine it's one of these things where it's so new. You have to get buy-in of everybody. I'm sure people who directors, producers, they don't want to probably do it because no one wants to be the first. It's scary, and if you fuck up, everyone's gonna laugh at you. But in reality, they shouldn't be. They should be applauding someone taking a chance and building something better. Because guess what, Pornhub? If you just do what you do all the time for the next 20 years, someone will beat you. Someone will do something new
Like
and will do better than
anything.
you. Anything. The only thing you have is basically speed in like an environment that's competitive. Who's gonna change quicker for the better? So get on board. But it is scary. I won't downplay the fact that it's scary for these people.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're working for a big production company, like they likely have the money to do it. It's just the risk that stops it.
Yes.
So yeah, like I said, VR bangers I think are the ones to watch right now when it comes to the evolution
How do you
in
convince your
VR.
peers the tempted? Like if you having a little more knowledge or experience compared to maybe some of your peers who don't, how would you tackle, like what's your first step of action to get their buy-in, to have them understand and feel like this is something worth trying regardless if there is a cost or not?
I mean, data
Mm-hmm.
and proof that it could work. Like a lot of like when I was writing porn, a lot of data went into it. I would do surveys that, I was running a social media account as well. So I could do little polls and, what are you using? What are you watching? And I think you can get a pretty decent idea of what people want from that kind of stuff. But yeah, again, I keep saying it, it's money.
It's money. Always is.
Yeah.
Let's put money out of it though. The next steps. Is it haptics? Is it better hand tracking? What's on your short list of wants here, Robin?
So like Lovin's for sure is like doing the right thing when it comes to the whole like teledildonic.
Yes.
God, that's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Teledildonic.
it's kind of badass, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's super cool. Or smart sex toy.
Intergalactic Tele-dildonics. There you go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I hope it was like pink too.
Yes.
It has to be pink.
What would be
But
like a consumer grade, like the next consumer grade mid accessory that's you would want to see? I mean, whether it's haptic gloves, we don't have to go big, but like what is the next step that would take those already enjoying it to like the next level?
I think it would be, the next step would be like a haptics thing, but I don't think it could be as like big and bulky as the ones that are available right now, which I mean are I'm sure incredible. I've never had the chance to use one myself, but like just imagine like you're with a partner or you're away from your partner. Like there have been times where I've played games with people who are wearing it and like you can go up and hug somebody. Like
Yes.
I could hug my friend in VR and they can feel it. That's not a sexual thing, of course, but like imagine if you're with a partner or with someone like that, you know what I mean? And every time you touch them in VR, they feel it.
It's
Are you
powerful.
kidding me? How long is that going to last?
Yes. No.
Like I want a haptic suit just to try.
No, that shit is super powerful. I mean, I don't think I'm not gonna hear. I might mess if I mess up the stream. It's not my fault. But there's the haptic vest right back there,
Oh
and
yeah.
that like let's just put it in VR chat for instance. And yeah, it takes a mod. Ban me. I don't really care. I got a VPN. We'll make new accounts. I don't care. But like the mod that they have for it in VR chat, where people can touch you and you feel it, like it's nuts. Like where I could be in a world and just minding my own business and everyone's kind of screaming trying to get your attention, but you can just ignore it, blow it out, like, oh yeah, I didn't hear you, whatever. And I feel someone tapping on my shoulder, being like, hey you, hey you, hey you. And he doesn't know I have a vest on, but I can feel every bit of that tap. And at one point I'm annoyed. Like when at first I'm like, fuck off, like leave me alone. Like it's almost like any other game where you can get into someone's face and it's just like fuck off. But
Yeah.
then I'm like, wait, actually, hold on. And I turn around, I'm like, this feels weird. This feels intimate, not sex intimate, but this feels like, wait, you're an avatar, but
You're
I feel that, but
vulnerable.
I feel this. Well, wait, this isn't gaming anymore. Like your mind like fucking melts, and you realize, oh shit, I brought this haptic vest in as an accessory as for fun, like haha rumbles, but now I'm like, oh no, wait, what else can I feel? Like, can I like hold hands now with somebody eventually, and like feel their fingers in my hand, and feel like we can just go through this scary world and hold hands? Like, it's fucking beautiful. It really is.
Makes me so happy sad because like like for me, like I live alone here in this tiny little apartment that I have. And with COVID, I've been perfectly happy just hanging out by myself in my tiny little apartment. Like I've had no issues.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. I think it would just be so cool. It's just, sorry, I'm having like one of those cool wow VR moments
I
like
have them all the
right
time.
now.
I have them. I get those feelings when I see like relationship blossoms from like VR. Like I didn't meet my wife in VR, but I met her the traditional millennial way online. I met my wife through Bumble.
Get the
And
fuck out.
no, yeah, I'm married, and the first time Bumble. It's all started from that. Um, and now we've been married for like 4 years, and it's been great. Um, but then I look at like I hope she doesn't mind me calling her out by name, but like Fia met her VR chat boyfriend, and they just met I think in London, the UK, in
Oh,
real life, and
yes.
it's beautiful. Like that. Think of the connection you can build to someone in VR chat is something like that. Like, yeah, we talk about VR sex a lot, but it's not just about sex. It's about building the connection. And when I saw that video of her like meeting her dude for the first time, like, because I think they started talking to something like pre-COVID, so then COVID hit, and there's no way you're getting overseas at that point.
No.
And to have this connection you built for so long, only virtually, and who knows if you had a haptic vest, how much better that relationship, or not better, but how much value added that relationship could have been in any form. And then they get to meet each other in real life. Like, that's what this is all about. And yeah, VR porn's fun, but it transitions. VR porn could just be part of the virtual sex. The other part is all that other 99% intimacy that you just have by talking and feeling the presence and being with that person. I fucking love those stories.
Yeah, and that's what it is, like I opened this Twitter account in just this past September 2020, because I wanted to learn more about VR and get in the community a little bit. And when I tell you the people that I've met in this community are so above and beyond anything I could have expected, like, yeah, I tell you that. I've made such incredible bonds and friendships with people that I never would have had the chance to do without VR. I would have
Yes.
never had that chance.
And you
You
don't know you're
know?
going to have that chance till like you're
No,
in there. Like, it's nuts. Like, I think most people, like, if you, I'm going to make a very sweeping generalization, but I feel like when you ask people's favorite VR moments, I'd put money on most of them did not expect that favorite moment to be their favorite moment. It just naturally happened when you hit that flow state of feeling perfectly alive in VR, everything just meshing together, and your feelings take over. And that's why I'm really into VR porn, because yeah, it's pleasure, and it can be recreation if you want. I don't care. Do it all you want. But eventually, I personally think it's going to warp minds for the better, and you'll see porn in a different light. You'll see intimacy and sex in a different light because you're there. You're not a fucking viewer watching curated content. You are embodying, you're putting your soul in whatever you're watching, and that's going to change your entire brain structure on what sex is, what intimacy is, and what it can be.
yeah.
And I fully believe it's going to make, I think it's going to make sex better, VR porn.
I agree. I think it's going to do the same thing. And I think as models move towards creating their own content and not depending on bigger companies and products to push their content and take a cut, eventually they're going to start creating their own VR porn experiences for us. And it's going to be cheaper and it's going to be everywhere. And hopefully we can take this as like a stepping stone to the next evolution of like ethical porn.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I was talking earlier a little bit about like the sort of like the shady, the bad side of porn and the porn industry. And
Can you explain that a little more just for the viewers? Because I think I might not even be picking up what you're putting down. But when you say the shady side, can you give a couple rough examples so we can kind of put what you would say the ethical side is versus the unethical side?
Yeah, well, I mean, like you can go on Twitter pretty much and see any sort of debate about it. But there's a lot of girls that get into the industry very early.
Hmm.
They're vulnerable. I mean, I don't want to put down any 18-year-old getting in the industry, but in the end, like, you're still 18. You've not lived enough to take care of yourself in the way that you could be,
Hmm.
and I think that there have been in the past some producers who have taken advantage of those kinds of situations, and some girls have been sorry, I'm I'm like, no, it's so rough to think about. But
Hmm.
yeah, like there are a lot of girls that are being taken advantage of in the industry, and it's normalized because this is the fantasy and this is not real. But like, they're still real people. They're
Hmm.
still real, people just trying to make a paycheck.
Yes.
And I think if we can start doing things more ethically, making sure that porn is being created by people who are like-minded and feel the same way about that kind of ethical movement, pay people what they're owed. And, here you go, pay for your porn.
I literally feel like you just fucking like ended my free porn streak. I really
Oh,
feel
no.
like no, I'm not. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I'm privileged enough where that should be like I shouldn't be doing that. I get it. Like the more I talk with anyone in the sex industry, like I literally actually DM'd this a while back, and I didn't follow through with it, and I don't know why I didn't. But I actually messaged like a few people on Twitter who I could tell were doing VR porn, and we were like, hey, would you like to talk? And like on stream and just talk. And it never happened for different reasons, but like everybody I talked to, even if it was just like briefly through DMs, like radically changed my view on like the industry because like what I don't know when I started fucking masturbating, but like there's a lot of years of conditioning me probably for the wrong thing. And then there's less years of me conditioning myself now probably for the better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of unlearning that's involved with growing. You know what I
Yes.
mean? If we stay the same and we stay stagnant, what's the point? I mean, I
Agreed.
don't know what the ultimate reason for us being here, how the fuck we're even here, but I think we have to find a little bit of purpose. And if advocating for more ethical porn is one of them, I'm for it.
Yeah. I think I'm all down for that as well, especially VR porn.
Especially VR porn. The funny thing is that, like, I don't even watch it for personal reasons because I watch it so much every day for work
Hmm.
that it becomes work. And I think it's the same for any people that are working within the sex industry. And that's why I say pay for your porn, because, just like you and I and lots of people in the stream, you wake up every morning, you go to work, you do a job, you get paid for that job, and you go home.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what porn performers are doing too. They wake up. The only difference is that they're having sex with people, but it's valid and it's the same work. They still go home and they friggin' get ugly and sit on the couch and watch Netflix. And you know what I mean? Like, they're real people and they do the exact same things as us, and they deserve to be compensated for it too, I think.
I agree fully now. You've enlightened me. And I do think also like transitioning money, putting it all together, everything we talked about. Money, VR porn, and VR porn avatars and OnlyFans. Like let's put it all together. Like I think that is really a big part of the porn future. Now, yeah, there'll be the free porn websites, but like building an avatar. So now you are embodying the person. This is you now. And the people watching you are watching you. Yeah, you might be a virtual avatar, or you might be real, but or virtual for this case, they're believing that's you. They're not seeing an avatar, they're seeing a person. And then they have the ability on these websites like OnlyFans to connect with you and discuss. And I think that only even increases how healthy porn can be because
Yeah.
you're not just watching some actress and never watching her again, or you don't even care to know her fucking name or anything about her. Now OnlyFans, I love OnlyFans. I personally have not um subscribed to anyone or like been on it much, but the concept of it, like I love because I think that makes again just going back to it healthier, better mentality when it comes to porn, and I'm all for it. I'm actually after this, I will definitely look up some of these VR porn artists on OnlyFans because they are doing a really good service of not only building VR porn, but building a better connection, a healthier mindset. Like it's beautiful. It really is.
And there's even like these really cool things. Like I noticed too, I was on a tube site a couple of weeks ago, just looking around, and I typed Beat Saber into the search bar. And sure enough, there is a bunch of pretty naked people playing Beat Saber, just like jiggling around in all their glory.
You just made us lose probably so many viewers right there on the stream because they're all like, what the fuck? I gotta go look at this right now.
Yeah, but like honestly, like I was even telling a friend of mine, I'm like, fuck, should I play Beat Saber naked? I could use a fucking side hustle. Like I jiggle a lot. Like, why not? I could do it. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there'd be someone that would pay for it. And if not, well, I tried, but
I mean, VR, it's already pretty hot enough in the headset. So at the end of the day, you'd at least be cooler probably playing than having a bunch of clothes on while playing Beat Saber.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was so cool, and like the videos that I saw were like Samantha. I think her name's like Samantha 42G or something. And you can guess why that's her name.
Yes, yes, I can make two guesses.
Yeah, but just like imagine this like big beautiful woman is there and she's playing Beat Saber naked, and like you could be sitting in your headset watching her play Beat Saber. Like I don't know.
So what I'm hearing is I'm hearing fuck hot tub streams. The future is naked Beat Saber streams. You heard it here first.
Oh, yeah.
Twitch, get on our level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down with that.
Oh, but I don't mind the hot tub thing either. I know there's a lot more to it than me being like, yay, all the hot tubs. But
no, real quick
I think
on
it's a cool thing to have.
Real quick on that subject, the hot tub streamers. Look, you know how much of a fucking skill, we talked about this, you and I, Robyn, how much of a fucking skill it is to stream while doing something. Like right now, this is easy because I have you to play off of. Like this makes it easy. But if you're by yourself, my God, that's like let's take out the hot tub part and just say like adult streaming, like webcams, like cam girls. That's gotta be difficult. Like, and especially a VR cam girl, you're isolated, or cam guy, cam girl, whatever. You're isolated in a headset. So you're already like that. So you're very isolated, and now you have to have the skill of being able to encourage, be personable, and build an audience. We've talked a lot about VR porn tonight in the sense of like why it's good, why it's fun, what the logistics of it are, but we didn't talk about how much of a skill it is. Like we kind of did when you brought up the actresses have to like get in that mindset, but it is going to be a new skill that people need to develop, work on, and figure out how it works.
That's absolutely true. Like I'm even like I have the chat playing here, and I don't know how someone would keep up with that at the same time as having a discussion. For me, it's just like that is so much talent to me to be able to multitask like that. But just imagine, yeah, like on top of like trying to do that, you're also trying to be hot and naked for people. You know? So like how do you be sexy and still like do this and this and this and this and this? And yeah. Oh man, hats off to anyone who can do that.
Maybe that's another benefit of the VTuber porn actor or actress. You don't have to suck in the gut for like the entire stream or flex it out so you look like you're buff. You get to be man.
Oh, like just imagine amazing. Like you go into a virtual world again, like VR chat, and it's like a paid private room. Say, you know, imagine someone just creates, you know, VR porn chat.
Yes.
You know, like just the porn version of it. And you go into a room and there's infinite worlds you can choose from. And you go in there with a sex worker, performer that also is in VR with her avatar. So now imagine the future of like that instance, but haptics and Tele-dildonics. And like that's a full sexual experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just as valid as, you know, going like flat camming or, you know, hiring an escort, and it's way safer.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder,
everybody.
Are these Tele-dildonics, by the way, going back to those, are they like, they're Bluetooth, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah.
So
yeah, and you can use their software like through your PC or on your phone.
What if someone hacked through that? That'd be interesting.
So apparently they promise on their website that it's very safe, everything's encrypted, and that there would be no leak. I know that there are probably people out there that would say differently.
Yeah.
That would be capable of it.
I gotta imagine the want to do that right now is extremely small though. So it's a meaningless, like the one person in the world who that happens to, congrats. You got a great story. Like, let's be honest.
Wow.
You had a good day where a stranger just massaged your dick.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good day. Sorry.
No, I love it. We're this YouTube. I'm sorry. Don't be mad at us.
Please.
Oh man. So what's up next for Robyn on the? I know you've been doing a lot of research. Is there anything coming that we should be aware of? I'm just really curious on maybe like the next step. Who's working on what? Because no one's gonna talk about this other than you. You literally have probably the only chance to tell anyone what's going on with VR porn other than the random Twitter account abusing the VR hashtag for like a VR retweeter bot to take their shit.
Oh my God, I do that for literally every post that I post, by the way. Every single post. Oh man, I'm that person.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But I do I can't I'm at work just being like, I got like 10 spare minutes. Let's search what's going on in VR right now on Twitter. You cannot do that because the VR porn bots go way too hard.
It's everywhere. It's funny actually. That's kind of why I opened my other Twitter account, the Della Darling VR one.
Yes.
So like Della Darling has been my porn writing pseudonym since like 2016. 2016, yeah, since 2016. And it's evolved in so many ways. It's at first I was a script. Della Darling was a writer. Like there's even someone created an IMDb.
Oh wow.
And you know what? Though the weirdest thing is that they created it just so they could shit on everything that I've ever worked on.
Hey, if you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, but they're the only one. So I was like, thank you, my favorite fan.
Yes.
But it's evolved so much, and now that I'm starting to learn more about VR and VR gaming and just like VR worlds that I've never experienced in real life, all I can think about is how can I do this in porn? How can I make this porn too? I was going to say I want it everywhere, but that sounds creepy and weird.
No.
But I just want it to be normal. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to talk like this and just have like a great conversation with people and have questions and debates and solutions and, future ideas. There's just so much. It's completely open right now. It's completely open. We can do anything.
Are you open to being the pioneer? Or you got anything that you would, if the opportunity presented itself, would you be down to make a VR porn game? Would you want to create a platform? Is there anything that you're looking, if the opportunity presented to, the means of doing it, the money as we've been talking about, what would you do?
It would be my dream, my ultimate dream, to create like a VR porn chat type app. You know what I mean? And just, I don't know. I don't think it could happen right now, but I think within the next 5 years, that's something that could be pretty viable.
Yeah.
That's my big dream at the moment.
Walk me through that app. Like, what would you envision? I want to hear this. Let's right now. We're gonna build. We're gonna end this. We're not gonna end the stream ish per se, but let's use this last little bit we probably have. Let's build a business plan for Robyn's VR porn app right now.
Oh man, first like avatars. Like imagine like the avatar I'm thinking of right now is like the Ready Player Me ones that like the one we're using for the thumbnail for
which
me
looks
there.
fantastic, by the way. Like that is you.
Crap.
That is you.
Like it's a picture of me. I'm just like, yeah. I actually, to be honest, so I redid my hair just for this because it was like blonde because I haven't dyed it in months.
When I saw your like, because I kind of, you and I have spoken, so I knew what you looked like, and then I saw your Ready Player Me avatar, and I'm like, that is fucking Robyn, like to a T. It's so clean, so clean.
I love it though. So imagine like, because I know that there's some people that choose to make their avatar look like them, and then other that choose to make their avatar completely different. But I think that's the coolest part about it is the customization and the complete freedom of creating a fantasy.
Yes.
So in an app, in a VR porn chat type app, everything is for you. You can create anything you want. you go in and right away there's a girl there ready, to do whatever you want, but not in a rapey way.
Or guy, or guy, or guy.
Or guy, excuse me, yeah, a person. Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to experience that. I want to go in and I want to touch someone in VR and I want to feel them. And I don't know, man. I don't think I'd ever have to meet another person in real life again.
I picture Robyn's app as just like a fucking VR chat world of a giant bed and a bunch of people with haptic suits on just rolling around together. That's what I just envisioned right there.
But like anything, and you can have like kink parties and like, oh man, I don't know. I think anything that is happening in real life right now can easily be put in a VR porn space with the money. You just need money, guys. Fuck. I'm not a millionaire.
Yeah, the proverbial question. I like Crazy Kev's comment though, and we've touched on this a little bit, so we don't need to beat a dead horse here, but I really do agree with him. As someone with anxiety around human contact, something like VR porn could be so helpful with being a gateway to becoming less anxious in person. And I agree, but it's also kind of weird too, because I do actually have a lot of anxiety sometimes, even in an avatar in VR chat, like going to a random room and seeing a bunch of people looking at a mirror talking to each other. Like I do get anxiety just from that, but I do agree with you, Crazy Kev. Like there is no repercussions. You can make mistakes. Like go make a fucking mistake. Go talk to people and look like an ass or be an idiot. Change your avatar tomorrow. Like no one cares. No one will know. No one will know.
Yeah. You're a completely different person the next day.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can be anyone, be anything, if you're really interested in, being a woman for a day, if you're a guy, you just go and you create the avatar that you want to use that day, and someone's going to like it and someone's going to want to fuck you in it.
Yeah. Have you ever visited a VR strip club? I'm curious.
No.
I haven't
There's
either.
the other. Oh, okay.
There are those though, like dead serious. There really are.
I didn't even know that. Now you've given me something to go and research.
Like I know, obviously, there's like the Void Club in VR chat, which it's made as kind of a club, and it has like a private room in the back. I don't know who's. I'm sure there's like ERP servers and stuff like that do it, but like there are like legit groups that like use platforms like VR chat and Neos and things like that have dedicated strip club rooms. And I've never visited one. I have a little anxiety just thinking about it, to be honest. But it's got to be an experience.
Do you want to know something about me? I
Yes.
have never in my life been to a strip club. Funny enough. Like I live in Montreal. I live like in the kingdom of strip clubs.
Wait, is this true? Like I didn't know Canada was that's
Montreal.
All right, guys, let's all go to Montreal.
Oh, please come. Just come hang out with me. I'll go to all the strip clubs. Bring me to my first strip club.
No, I'm not going to act as a pro. I've only gone to a couple, and anxiety runs high. So,
I don't know. For me, that was the always thing was that, like, why am I going to go there and get all worked up and then do nothing about it?
Well,
like if I'm going to give my money, I would rather just go give my money to someone and get it done if I have to.
Let me ask you this then. Speaking of paying for sex, would you pay for VR companionship? If, even if the tech wasn't there in the sense of like haptics and all that stuff, like what's the value of a VR intimate experience?
I mean, I would. I've always been kind of like, I know you mentioned earlier that you met your wife on Bumble.
Absolutely.
So I opened my first like Plenty of Fish account when I was like 15. Okay. Totally not okay.
No,
but
no, don't do that, guys. Please chat. Please.
Don't
please.
do that.
18 or older. 18 or older.
Yeah, always. It's not a good thing, but I was a wild child. And I used to just like meet people on there and travel, like not necessarily have sex with people, but just like travel around to meet people as like a younger person. And oh shit, I forgot where I was going with that.
You said you want to know a secret about Robyn on Plenty of Fish at 15.
Fuck. Next question. I forget.
We'll circle back. All I know is I now know that Montreal is the destination I'm telling my wife we need to visit next. I've been to I've been to Toronto. That's the only time I've been to Canada. Was it Mount Tremblant? Where's that at?
Mount Tremblant. It's here in Quebec, I think.
Okay,
yeah, it's
I went there. great snowboarding.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's
Yes.
beautiful. I have some friends that have a place in LaBelle, and I love going there. It's just a little bit south.
Well, Robyn, we could be at the end here, but let's end it with what I like to do. I started it with Joshua or JC. He might be I saw him in the chat earlier tonight, but I realized I
Oh,
was ending streams a lot of times on my terms. And yes, it's my stream, but that's very rude
ah,
of me. You are my I honestly I'm about to like when I leave this chat, I'm about to go talk to my wife and be like, "This is what we're talking about." Like, I'm about to like fucking gush on this shit. But I realized that I really enjoy giving the final words to my guest, and not in the sense of having to say anything profound or technical, but like this is your chance. I'd like you to express to the chat like what you would like to see with the adult VR industry. You know, what would matter to you? What is important? It's a heavy load topic, but like I think it's important for someone who is very passionate, part of that industry, to have the floor to just pitch to people why this shit is important, and it is. And if anyone says it isn't, you're wrong.
you know what? Like people have their reasons to be for it and against it. You know, there's some groups that are so vehemently against it that they're trying to make it illegal.
Yes.
Like,
Yep.
which is that to me is wrong.
And
You know what I mean?
you know damn
They
well
don't
those
like
people are have probably the weirdest shit going on in the background. Yes.
for sure. It's like hiding on the bed and like a big old fat man in a baby diaper, and he's just like, meh.
Yes. The people who
Weird.
are so against it are usually the people doing the weirdest stuff.
Hmm. No, but I think I just I think porn and VR porn is such a cool tool to explore what's coming next. You know what I mean? I love when people own their sexuality and own their power and can just like freely be themselves in the constraints of consent, of course.
Yes.
And I think that's also going to be another thing that comes up with VR porn, like you were saying earlier too. It's like that consent. You know, is this person real or not? You know, and I think we do always have to remember for the most part that, you know, behind every avatar is a real person with real concerns and a real life. And we just have to continue to respect those kinds of things as we move forward, I think, in the VR porn industry.
Agreed. Agreed. Robyn, like I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass, but this was fucking so fun. I
Thank
had
you.
so much fun. You and I have still one more thing to do once the stream ends, and I need to do that because it's getting about that time. But guys in the chat, I hope this type of content was good to you. Please, if you watch VR porn, tell people about it. Who cares? No one's
Yep.
judging you. Have a good time. VR is about exploration. You can be anyone you want to be. You can do anything you fucking want to do. And if you want to watch some VR porn or play a VR porn game, go do it. It's fun.
Mhm.
It's healthy. Just do it. Well, it can be healthy, it can be bad, but it's healthy. But
Yeah.
guys, that is gonna be it. As always, everybody, I appreciate you showing up, and we'll see you next time, VR Space Cowboys. See ya.